New Year's Eve 2014 going into 2015. On the daytime New Year's Eve I get the barbecue area ready, and I get the laptop out, put the laptop in place for the film in, all ready to go. Get the cooking area ready, cleaned and ready. I get the dog's boxes ready. There's a laptop ready to go with the film in it. And then the fire, all the wood's ready for the fire. Half hour, 3/4 hour before the women come in, I light the fire, get it going, get the food cooking. The onions I get going, they're always very steamy, and get them out of the way. I got the old grill there ready to do the burgers and the sausages and all the bits and pieces on. Dogs are in their kennels. The wife's home now from bingo, and it looks like I've done the cooking and they've all been eating their grub. It's just me, the wife and the two sister-in-laws, the laptop and my mate Tony. And we've done the same thing for the last 30 years, barbecuing this built up area. It's a covered area so we don't get cold. The fire, as you can see, I've done the pictures now, so it might be better quality. The laptop with videos on, the dogs. Lyra used to have a box, but her box got a bit wet, so we chucked it out. She just stays in there now. Sam's in his little box next to the wood pile. He loves it in there. It's penthouse, we calls it. This was when I was doing the food now, obviously. This was earlier. I put the video on. There's the onions. As I say, they make plenty of moisture and made everything damp. Get them out of the way. All we had this night was burgers and sausages, onions and all the bits and bobs that go with it. That's my cup of tea, what I had while I was still waiting for the women to come home. There's Kath, she come home. Sorry the picture quality is crap, but it's the lighting in the barbecue. It's only normal lighting. But I've lagged her to butter the rolls. There's the burgers and the onions and the tomatoes all doing. Now this is after we've all ate our food, I think now. Tony's but also about moaning about the heat from the fire. As you know, New Year's Eve was a very hot night. Here's yours truly. I think I'm looking down at the fire there. Oh no, we haven't ate. There we are eating now. Putting the talking on these videos is murder. If you could do it as you was putting the films on it, it'd be great. But there's Pat, the sister-in-law. It's her first second year with us. Normally it's me, Tony, Tracy, and sometimes other relatives, but we like to keep to ourselves New Year's Eve, and especially me. New Year's Eve after the fire, and you know, I like to be on my own. I got the dogs. The last 8 years I've had the dogs now, so when I go for my early morning New Year's Day walk, now I've got the dogs with me. It's great. It does like better than being on my own. There's the fire burning well, as you can see. We're never cold in the barbie area. Used to be a TV and video and CD player on that stand there, and not makeshift thing, but we don't bother now. We do everything on the laptop or online. There's the top of the barbie area. It's a dome shape and goes up into the chimney there on the top. There's Sam again. Sam and Lyra are both in the same box now. Look. Now it's gone empty. The girls have gone out the front. All the neighbours will be out there banging pots and pans. And anyway, now we're back. Back for the first day. Had my last drink. Tony's not there because Tony now is gone. It's 12:30 and gone. He runs relatives around, so he's shot off home, and Pat's gone to bed, and now it's just Tracy and the missus and me. And see the fire out. Now I'm having my last beer, and once I've had my last beer, it'll be the women will go to bed, and I'll be all my kit on. I got big overalls, and there I am down the woods. Bit of wood, pile it up, chuck a light in, poof, and away it goes. Get me beer out of my pocket, and I'm drinking out of a can now, sorry to say, but I ain't to carry glasses down here. So I sit there and drink my beer, around a fire. The dogs lay down or go running off chasing badgers and foxes. But built the fire up one last time, and it was warm. That night was warm. I built the fire up, I laid down, I'm on a bit of a bank there, fell asleep. When I woke up 2 hours later, fire was more or less out. So there you go. New Year's Eve. That's the way to do it. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That's how I've done it for the last 30 years. The last 8 years I've had the dogs with me. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I wish you all the best for New Year. And let's hope some flying starts before long, because the weather's doing my head in.